Hi there. Welcome to Positive Power with Michele Dionne. Welcome to episode 5. How exciting, how fast this is going. So, today I wanted to talk about some different things. I wanted to talk about how important it is that you validate your sources. I don't know how many people realize, but Wikipedia, everybody I think has heard about Wikipedia. And I don't know how many people realize that the foundation of the data and the information that's on Wikipedia is all provided by regular people like you or I. So, I have an account, or I'm registered, whatever you call it, and so I can go on Wikipedia and I can start my own page of any information that I want, whether it be true or not. Somebody does read it, but I don't think they go and do the legwork to necessarily find out if it is indeed true. So you have to take that in mind. Now, mind you, that being said, I do use it for different things, but I keep that in mind. And that's the thing. It's all about keeping things in perspective. So in the last week since we talked last, I've noticed a lot of articles floating around on social media that are from these fake news sites. And, don't get me wrong, they have their purpose. Everybody likes to have some fun and to have a laugh. But the key is that you realize that they're not true. That, take it for what it is, right? So one of them that's quite well known, and it's been around for quite a while, is called The Onion. And that's www.theonion.com. And they call it America's finest news source. But if you go down to the bottom, they tell you right there, not for people under 18, because maybe they don't know the difference between what's true and what's not, or have that common sense that isn't as common as we like to think that it is. And then when you go into the about, it also tells you there as well that it's not a serious site and it's like a parody, that they're mocking the real news, which, sometimes deserves to be mocked. So I was looking today, through some of the top news stories, and I came across some funny stuff. For example, Paul Ryan discovers half-finished escape tunnel leading out of the speaker's office. Another one, economists estimate human civilization still years away from turning a profit. Man's body running out of ideas to convince him he is full. Scientists find strong link between male virility and wearing Motley Crue jean jacket. Whoa, that's top news. Definitely something to check into. So when you're searching online, if you see an article that is from The Onion, take notice. It's not real. Read it, enjoy it, love it, have a laugh, but it's intended for a laugh. Another one that's a newer site to my knowledge, and I'm seeing it more and more recently, is www.hotglobalnews.com. And you see how, like, hot global news, they make it so that it sounds similar. People are so easily sucked in, unfortunately. So, here are some top stories that I bet you've heard of. Razor blade found in Halloween candy. That's in Ontario, where I live. Another one, more specific. Razor blade found in Snickers bars, also in Ontario. I saw that float around on Facebook, and people are responding, and they're upset, and they're angry, and they're emotional, and it's bogus. It's too bad. It's a waste of good emotion. Another one, some people might be cheering this one on. Stephen Harper running for president of USA. No, that doesn't work. Common sense hat, right? Here's sort of a funny one. Justin Trudeau, he gives out marijuana for Halloween. Can you imagine Justin Trudeau standing there? I'm not even going there. That is just too funny. Now another one, not so funny. Justin Trudeau not legalizing pot in Ontario, but legalizing it in the rest of Canada. Now that's the one that I saw people got the most emotion out of. And it's funny because there'd be people that shared it, and of course they don't do the research, but they share it and then they put snide little comments either about him or about how people voted or whatever. And when you go right to the Hot Global News site, right to the bottom, it tells you it's not a serious site. Don't take the articles seriously. So what I did when I saw these articles floating through Facebook, and you know I'm all about good vibes, right? And bad emotion and negativity lead to more bad emotion and negativity. So I like to try to stop that negative train. So I would go to the site and I would copy, just, copy and paste the little about comment saying that it's not real. And then whoever had this long angry thread going, I just paste it on there, like just a FYI, this isn't a real story. People get so caught up in their negative emotions, they just blew right through it. They didn't even see it. And then there's other people going, this isn't a real story. But, emotion is like that, right? It just totally carries you away. So you have to be so careful. Another one on this Hot Global News, which you might find sort of funny, girl finds dead frog in her McDonald's chicken wrap. A dead frog. Can you imagine a whole frog in a McDonald's chicken wrap? Good grief. Anyway, so do your research. Make sure that you look at your source. Just pick it carefully. And I think about when you get up in the morning, I don't know what your routine is. This is my routine. I get up in the morning. I come right here where I'm sitting. My computer's right there. I grab my coffee. I sit down. I go through my Twitter. I go through my Facebook. And then I start my day. And that's my little routine. So imagine if I do that and I start it by getting all upset over some article that's not even true. That's not cool. And it's not good. And I don't want to see you do that to yourself. So really, my point is to educate you that look at the sources before you get upset, before you get caught up in emotion. And there's a lot of credible sites, a lot of good sites. And if you're looking for good news, there's thegoodnews.com, there's the positive news, there's the Huffington Post, there's the real global news, there's the real, CBC, CBS, CNN, even though read it carefully because, mass media, we know how that goes. But just keep your common sense hat on. I guess that's the moral of the story. And check the dates. I've seen in the last couple of days alone, and I do the same thing. Absolutely guilty of the same thing. I see something, I share it, especially if I think it's a public notice that people need to know. And then I look and think, good grief, that's 5 years old. Good grief, that's 10 years old. So check your dates. Check your sources, check your dates, and check yourself. Check yourself and make sure you have your common sense hat on. That's so important. So thank you so much for tuning in today. I have this little bit of a head cold, so I'm not making this too long. I'll see you again next week. I also want to throw something else by you. As a lot of you know that I love Ellen. Oh, she does a great show. And I'd really like to be on her show one day, but, whatever. If I get on, I get on. If I don't, I don't. But I've been watching some of the stuff that she does, and she does so many great things for so many great people. And there's this one I've been following where it's her with a young boy who just had a heart transplant. And they gave the family some money to help with their medical bills, and they just had them back on. And they gave them a new car. And I know it's not her money, like it's through her sponsors and all that stuff. But, I think we need to change her name. I think her name should be changed to Ellen DeGeneres, right? Because she's so generous. So I think you should agree. I think that we should start a petition and change her name to Ellen DeGeneres, because she is one of the most generous people and life-changing people I've ever seen. And I think that's awesome. And you know who else I think is awesome? I think you're awesome. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Have a great week. And if you have the same cold as me, lots of water, lots of vitamin C. That's how I'm beating this. Have a great week. Cheers.